Welcome to the 3Gen podcast. We are three generations of
life,
love,
and legacy.
And we're hoping to foster meaningful conversations that bridge generational gaps, sharing diverse perspectives and experiences to promote understanding, empathy, and connections across different age groups.
We are three generations of life,
love,
and legacy. Hello. Welcome back to the 3Gen podcast. I am Raven.
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Pearl.
And we are the
3Gen podcast.
Oh, you ladies sounded
Getting better.
Yes.
How are you all today?
Oh, I feel good. The weather is so nice outside. It's like, 75 degrees? Beautiful.
Yeah, it does feel good. The sun is out today.
Nice out. Yes.
You know, when the sun's out, the fun's out.
Yeah, lots of pollen.
That's the PG
in the
version.
Air. Yeah, lots of pollen in the air.
It is a lot of pollen.
Yeah, I just missed that. You said that's the PG version. What's the other version?
Sun out, buns out. You know?
Oh, sun's out, buns out. Okay. I like it.
But for y'all, the fun is out.
Okay. I like
but yeah, no, pollen is heavy this season.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh my goodness, the pollen is everywhere. You can't breathe. You wash your car
car
today.
Yeah, the same
You go
day
in the
be
store,
so
come back,
dirty.
it's yellow.
Same day.
I don't know.
Same day. Sinus.
But hey, I'll take it over the cold and the rain. So
Me too.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Me too.
Get your
too.
membership. Go wash it 2 and 3 times a day. Whatever you got to do. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
How you feeling today, Granny?
I am well. How about you, Raven?
I'm doing good.
And
Good week.
Pearl?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank
You girls
you.
look fantastic. Let me
I was
tell
gonna
you that.
say you guys
you.
came for my head today. You guys look wonderful.
But listen,
It's
before
all
we go
Miss L.
any further, press that like button.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want you to subscribe. Okay? Now,
You
there
heard
you
her.
have it.
Stop what you're doing right now
press.
and subscribe, like, share, and please comment. I'm with Miss L now. Leave it in the comments. Y'all been doing a lot of phone calls, texting. We appreciate it, but put it in the comments.
Okay.
And we do appreciate your support. We are loving the feedback. We love the conversations that this is fostering. We're loving it. So thank you. Keep it coming.
Yes. All right, well, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
You all ready for a hot
Yes.
topic?
Yes.
Hot
Who has a
topic.
hot topic?
I got one.
Okay.
All right. It's not really a hot topic, but it's just something I wanted to run across you all, a little discussion. So, and these are some characters that, you know, Granny, you may or may not know. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure you know some of them.
All right.
But this week, there was I believe, okay, let me break it down like this. You know Lil Wayne, the rapper.
I do.
Very good. All right. His ex, her name is Toya. You may know her.
I know
from-
Toya.
You surprising me, girl.
I know I am.
Okay, well, Toya is now in a marriage. I was gonna say relationship, but she's now married. But she happened to be on a podcast, and they were discussing, you know, past relationships. And someone brought up Lil Wayne, and she said, "Well, you know, if I wanted him back, I could have him back," or something to that effect. And everyone on the internet just like blew up, and they were like, "That's so disrespectful. You're married, all of this." So I wanted to get you all's opinion. Do you all feel that you should speak on a past relationship or even acknowledge someone from your past if you're in a committed relationship or if you're married? What do you all think? Do you feel like it's disrespectful?
I think I say that a lot, but what I'm gonna say about the podcast, first of all, when they do them, I think it's some editing and everything, and I don't think we really know the context totally of what they asked, because it could have just been asking her about Lil Wayne and been a rumor out there, or said that, you know, how did it end, or this, that, and the other, and she, you know, it could have just been like, well, if I wanted to be there, I could have been in that situation still, but I wanted out of that situation. You know, it just depends on how that was said. I didn't see it or hear it, but I do think once you moved on, you should leave the past in the past, and your references to good, bad, or indifferent, I just think that you leave that behind.
Okay, I'm going to weigh in. I think if he would have wanted her, he probably would have her, because she's always leaning in on his name. She rides his coattail.
Mm.
I don't care where you see her at, she's gonna bring up Lil Wayne and his daughter. So now apparently now I know she had a little show at one time, but she's always referencing to him. So maybe she's not really through with the relationship because he's married
Well,
also.
well, Lil Wayne's
No,
not
he's not
married,
married.
but
I disagree with
no,
that analogy.
no.
Well, that's
but-
my analogy
okay,
because
but
she always bring him up. I see him. I don't never hear him say anything about Toya.
Okay, well. That's
Slow down.
Let's
Slow down.
wheel
Slow
it
down.
back in.
Slow down.
Granny, you are shady
Okay.
today.
Yeah, shady.
Okay, well, first of all, I was just speaking in general. I brought that up
necessarily about
just
that
as
situation, yeah.
because that situation just happened. But I just wanted you all's opinion in general, not just with Lil Wayne and Toya. But if you were in a relationship, would you want your ex or would you speak on it? But now that you brought that up, I will say I don't think that Toya brings Lil Wayne up. I think people ask her because that's what they know her from. And you said his daughter as if it's not her daughter. That's her child too. So she can speak on her child.
But she always referred to her as, Lil Wayne's daughter,
Well,
know.
that's who she is.
But
And I think he's been very generous to them and whatnot. And listen, I don't know those people.
So what?
So I'm gonna leave
And
it
one
alone.
thing I can't say, I think both of them were very young, and because the hot topic not about Lil Wayne and
It's
Toya.
not, but
But it
here-
appears that they ended as friends and they've been on good terms, and I'm
Exactly.
happy about that. They've been able to
Exactly.
co-parent. They've been able, and he's provided some opportunities for her. She's took advantage of them. Now she's standing on her own feet, doing her own thing, and helping her people doing whatever it is that she do. So I'm proud of her. Go get your coins, girl, regardless of how you got them. And
So what do you all think? Would you
But
all
I-
appreciate your new spouse or boyfriend talking about one of their exes in a sense of, well, if I wanted that, I could still have that? Do you all deem that disrespectful, or do you feel that that's just answering the question, but you're who they're with now?
I think, like I said, even when I talked about them, I think it's the context that it was said in, as if they're walking down bragging, like, I can get her today if I want. I always had that. Or if somebody brings it back up in a context of that, well, she was saying such and such, or what do you feel about her? And it's like, well, it was my choice not to be there. If I wanted to be there, that's where I would have been. So I think it's the context of however that it is said.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah,
Wait.
that's my
No pros or cons. I'm out of that mess.
and mess is what it is.
It is
Messy. Messy. You
All
done
right.
being messy today?
I'm done. No.
Not today, just on that topic.
Just on that topic.
Yeah, so I think it depends. But I think if you're secure in your relationship, you can bring up whoever you want to bring up. We know what we got going on, and this is where we stand, this is where you at. And anybody that don't want to be here, the door is always open. Don't, do you. Go back to wherever you want to go and do wherever you want to go.
All righty.
I feel like it's some subliminals being thrown today, but all right, we gonna move on.
Bruno Mars, I'm going to leave the door open.
All right.
All right. Well, there you all have it. I feel that it's disrespectful, but at the same time, I mean, like you said, if you're secure in it, I guess if your partner doesn't mind you speaking on your ex, yeah. But I just think leave that where it's at. And if someone was to even bring it up, I just feel like I would be like, listen, that's the past. Let's keep it pushing.
I was going to say, how do you address when people just keep bringing it up to you?
That's
Everybody,
the past. Let's
they
keep it
always want
pushing.
to, and everybody interview you want some tea. They want some name dropping. They want some bites that they can put out there to make you come and watch it. And, so, yeah.
That's the business. While we're on the topic of relationships, though, that happens to be our topic for this episode.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Messy.
So we are always, and we kind of run into this discussion a lot too, just within our household, about the 50-50 subject when it comes to relationships, marriage, dating, or just in general partnership. I want to take it a step further though and discuss the 50-50 rule in relationships in regard to equally yoked relationships. What do you all consider a 50-50 relationship? Have you ever been in a 50-50 relationship? And just, give me your thoughts on it. I'll start with you, Granny.
I've never been in a 50-50 relationship.
What does 50-50 mean to you in regard to like relationships?
Everybody pay half of whatever is due. And I never been and won't be in a 50-50.
It won't be.
Matter of fact, it's not going to be 40-60. It's not going to be a 30-70.
So what do you deem fair? And what's your reasoning behind not wanting to do 50-50?
Well, now, this is a very deep conversation, and most people think when you say 50-50, you're speaking in terms of money,
Right.
paying bills, but a relationship is more than money.
Mhm.
It's more than paying bills.
Right.
Now, if you are married to a person, a man is supposed to be the fixer. He's supposed to control and take care of the house.
Mhm.
Now, if you all are equally yoked
Mhm.
and you all come together as one, that money should go into a one bank. Now, we can make a budget, take out the money for the bills, give you a little something to buy that purse, give the husband something to do whatever he needs to do. But overall, the money should come to the house.
Mhm.
And the man should make sure that money is equally distributed. He should take care of the house.
So
Because now,
Mm. Ooh,
the
All
man
right.
is supposed to give you the equipment to go out, the woman to go out to work, to educate herself, to do whatever, when he's taking care of that household. And he will be.
Mm.
And he will be.
Well, let me just say this then. You had me for a minute.
Hey,
Then you went left on me.
speak your mind.
I do think that when people think 50-50, they're thinking just money.
right.
But I think everybody comes into a relationship with their strengths and their weaknesses. I think equally yoked is what's you value, what's important to you, and kind of where you stand and your morals and what you want out of a relationship and out of life. I think that bills is a small percentage of it, or the finances is a very small percentage of it. It weighs heavy, but there has to be more than being able to pay the bills. And I think that yes, your man's supposed to be the head of the household, but he can't equip me to do nothing. My source is still God, and that's who equips me to do everything. And he don't allow me to do this and allow me to do that. I mean, if we're equally yoked and we communicate and we are a partner,
Mhm.
and I work outside the home, everybody have to bring theirs to the storefront. I believe in that, and I think there should be some transparency when it comes to the finances. But my contributions may not all be financial. His may not all be financial. He may be a handyman, or he may be a this, and all of those things that he's not. Then he has to see how those things get done, or how you compensate for those things, and likewise on my part. But I think that he needs to, if he's supposed to be the leader, but he's not as spiritually strong as I am. As the leader, you identify each other's strengths and weaknesses, and you let different people lead in different areas. But that doesn't
Right.
make you less of the man.
Listen, I'm going to start off with the Lord should be the head. And he is the
Always.
head always.
Yes.
Spiritually.
Mhm.
Now, if you don't have a spiritual foundation, things are going to get very rough, because you're supposed to acknowledge him first.
Mhm.
But now, when we speak after you've acknowledged him, and you are supposed to be equally yoked, you are supposed to also, a lot of women do not allow a man to be a man. Not saying that they are not a man. Now, there are some men who do not portray these things. But the man is the head, supposed to be the head of the household. Now, if he can't count, maybe you need to take over the finance. But he needs to know where the money is going, and he needs to be aware of the circumstances. Now, that's just outright. Now, I don't have a problem. Like I said, I ain't going to be no 50-50 in my kingdom.
Mhm. Money wise.
Money-wise. And a man's supposed to be able to lift you up. This is why so many people lose respect for each other. You can't tell them anything because I make more than you. You make more than me. your partner is supposed to be the person that you can come to, you can rely on, you can talk to, and whatever. You're supposed to be able to build each other up.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. So I'm hearing a lot. I know you all are saying that it's more than just monetary, but I'm
It
hearing
is.
a lot of money, money, money. So Granny, can you tell me what like would be, because you're saying no 50-50, but what would be 50-50 without monetary wise? Like what is something that you feel that your partner should bring that's not money?
He could be mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
Cut the grass. You know how much it is to cut the grass twice a week or every week? He could be one of the he cuts the grass, say, well, you tend to the children. Nowadays, everybody's switching roles.
So what if
Maybe
your
he
partner
cooks.
So what if your partner, just an example, decides, okay, you do the work, you pay the bills, but everything in the house will be taken care of. I'll watch the kids, I'll mow the lawn, I'll wash
I
the
don't
dishes.
need no maid now. Come on. Let's not get
But
carried
that's
away.
50-50.
Now that's like I said, they're reversing the roles. But in my house, I don't need that.
Okay. So you do need that money component.
Like
That's
I
a part
said,
of the equation.
it's a
it
part
would
of the
be sit here
equation.
and wouldn't be honest and
you
to
can't
yourself
sign and
if
watch
you say,
Days of My Life and beyond the gates all day long. We're not having that.
Okay.
And I'm a woman, and if I was a man, no woman's gonna sit on her behind all day long watching stories. You getting a job, sister. You open the door for the devil. No, that is just my opinion.
Okay. So
Everybody need to work.
Everybody need to work. Go 4 hours, do something, but
Just take 4 hours.
do something.
okay, and
Because it gives you meaning. You get out the house, you see people, you greet people. You just not sitting there talking about what Victor Numa did and Beyond the Gate and all that kind of carrying on.
I get that. So I think that's where in my generation a lot of the conversation is coming in because, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you as well, Mom. I think that in different times, back in time, it was like the woman, yes, she works, the man works, but then the woman is still expected to come home and do majority of the work. You still got to come home and cook. You still got to come home, make sure the house is in order. But yeah, I worked all day like you worked all day. So that's not an equal partnership. That's not fair for one person. And then I think that brings a little resentment within a relationship. So what do you all think of that?
So let me say this. If I had a husband or were to get one, and and both of us worked.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, everybody has their skill set and everybody has their contributions of what they bring to the household. And we still got to go back to finances. And as should be, my husband paid the mortgage or he paid the bills. Everybody in relationship to me have roles, and not necessarily that you're mandated to cook every day or you're this or that, but if it's my role or I'm the provider or I'm the one that can cook or I'm the one that do the grocery shopping, I'm the one that so I got to figure out what the family gonna eat tonight. That's part of my responsibility as part of this relationship and part of this role. If I don't like to pump gas, so even though both of us worked all day, if I get home and be like, honey, my car ain't got no gas and I got to go out of town tomorrow for work or this, that, and the other, I'm expecting him to get up and go put gas in my car without confrontation. I don't like to take out the garbage. After I cook, somebody else come in the kitchen. I think that it's give and take and you communicate and you got to be upfront about these things. These are my desires and my wishes, what I like. What is it that you like this? You might have a husband that don't care nothing about a home cooked meal. And just like, I'll pick up something on the way home. Different strokes for different folks. There's some people that don't like fast food and want a home cooked meal. Some of them don't like leftovers. I think that it has to be open communications as to what the expectations are, what I like, what you don't like. But when you love someone, and that's the whole big key to the component, that it has to be some love in the picture. And this is not just to get bills paid, or it's not a chore, or it's not, and you're equally yoked. And I think that you commonly just come to a common place in a meeting ground where you do for each other.
So do you all feel that maybe a lot of this conversation is a big stir up because people aren't partnering with people that they're equally yoked to?
And there's no love in the equation. People are on a come up. People are, well, I'm just somebody that can pay my bills and then I'm just going to sit pretty. People don't want to work. I just want to be a housewife. I'm going to have these babies and then, he's stuck. So
not even just housewives. There's a lot of house
house
husbands
men,
out
yeah,
there as
exactly.
well
It's
lately.
a lot of
And I think
men that
that's
capitalize on
something.
that as well, and all income levels.
Yeah.
There's a lot of men that capitalize on that as well. So, but that's when you know that you're not equally yoked. If you know that that's not what, and now it's a lot of people that want their people to stay home.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
It
I agree
depends
with
on
that.
the conversations
I
and
think it
what
should be
y'all like
had.
and what y'all don't like.
Back in the day, I don't think people really sat down to discuss or go to marriage counselors. Marriage counselors are very good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really good when you go to someone that either know both of you or don't know you at all, because they can ask those questions that you have not thought about. And learning about a person, it's like if you love someone, you don't mind doing for them, and you want that person to be happy. Now, when you're miserable, your partner is not invested in you because they're not making you happy. That brings about problems. And when you talk to a marriage counselor and they bring up these different things, particularly your religion and your background, your family, and all this, it opens up the air. And if you don't think that you are equally yoked with the person, don't get into that.
I think you gotta define what
I
equally
was just
yoked
about to
is to
ask
you. What's
that.
the equally yoked can mean anything. That's why I say you gotta communicate. You gotta find what's
That's
equally
why
yoked
you got
to
the
you.
marriage counselor.
And the marriage counselor can't decide what it is that you like. What equally yoked to her or him might not be your equally yoked.
It's
or
gonna
what was
show
in
you
my
what's
generation
equally.
and what my expectation of a relationship may be totally different of what
But I
Raven
think
and
that
these
there should be
millennials
a
expect
standard. It
to.
what like, and this is just, I know it's out the blue, but do you all know the exact definition of equally yoked? Because I think that although you may expect something, there should at least be a standard of what this is.
What is equally yoked?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I think
Not the
No.
definition wise. I can tell you what I feel
Okay.
it
Yeah.
is, but like biblically wise, do you all know like what equally yoked means? Where we should be grounded?
shared values, shared morals,
Religion.
shared religion, shared goals, your visions, your missions. It's like we have a shared vision of where we want to be and how we want to get there.
Where we're
Okay.
going.
We have a shared moral compass of how we want to raise our children. I don't believe in one thing and you believe in another one, because then when we get to the crossroad, there's friction.
Gotta be
It's a
friction.
frictionless relationship, or that we have a shared
So
views on life. We share the same views or share the same of
So
the
in-
majority of.
Okay, a majority of, because it's always been kind of told to me that opposites attract. So if you have a partner that is opposite of you, and maybe you all, like you said, majority of our vision and goals are shared, but maybe there are some things such as religion that I don't see it the way you see it, or either you worship a god or religion that maybe I don't worship. Do you feel that if these people partner
Right.
up that they and they don't have kids, let me say, and then you all decide we don't want kids, do you all feel like that's an equally yoked partnership?
It is unequal. If he worshiping one God and you worshiping another,
But it's God.
that's two different spirits. And
No.
no, ain't but one God.
Ain't but
So
one
y'all can't
God.
worship two
No,
different
I'm
ones.
saying religion wise. Like if he's Muslim,
Hey, but one
I'm
God
Christian.
regardless.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. It's different religion, but you all still worship God.
I don't think that
I
we can
don't
worship two
know.
different faiths.
No,
I mean,
no.
denominations, he can be Catholic and you Methodist, or, maybe. But really, I would think that God would want you to worship together, first of all, to grow your family and the fellowship. But to be just totally,
Because
he has one belief and you have a totally different belief, because it goes beyond your religion. Then it goes to your dietary, what you like and don't like. Then it goes to how we're going to raise children. And you start off saying you don't work children, but then, I'm pregnant. And, it's a lot of unplanned pregnancies.
The reason why I'm going that drastic is because, and I see it so often, that's a drastic example, but I see people who are super religious, go to church and everything, but then your partner doesn't go to church, but they claim that they're the same religion. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't seem to phase the household. But yet, you all don't pray together. You all don't worship together. But that's an equally yoked partnership just because they say they believe in the same religion. And I see that so often. Like,
I think
we all don't get there if
right.
we don't all get there at the same time, spiritually.
And I agree with that. And I was reading the Bible, and they said, and I don't know the exact verse, so don't, but it said that the partner who is more spiritual or who has more religions or faith should be the partner to lead. That's what it said.
Well, maybe so, but now listen, I can pray for you every day. And that's the thing with the husband being the leader and you all have the same faith. We all come together and pray.
Mm-hmm.
We all sit to the table, eat at the same time, and pray. This is teaching your children. This is motivating everything else.
I understand that, but I think that it's not balanced when we all come to the same table, my husband, me, my children, but I'm the one that put the food on the table. I'm the one that's saying the prayer. I'm the one, but then yet when we go out into the public, you want to be known as the leader. You're not leading. And I think that's
You're
where
not leading spiritually, and eventually it will
anything.
come to a head.
So
Trust
what are you
me.
saying, Raven? That he's
I
not
think
contributing anything, but when you go in public, then
the
that's-
perception that you want to put out is that you're the head of the household, you're the leader, and not even just men. I mean, just the perception I feel is more important than the actual act.
to people, but it
Yeah, the
shouldn't be.
perception to people, how it's perceived. You want to be perceived as the head of the household, but then yet when we get behind closed doors, it's not an equally yoked or balanced relationship because you're not like contributing to be the head of the household.
You got some house cleaning to do behind closed doors.
And not
now.
only that, you have some people that go to this church and the wife go to that church. They get married. Normally, the wife follow the husband. Normally.
I think what Raven is going with this, okay, so it's not financially all financial. We know equally yoked. We know equally yoked is not all spiritual. But I think what you're getting at, Raven, is contributions.
Exactly.
Be it financially, be it spiritually, be it cooking,
Emotionally,
cleaning, emotionally.
everything. Like
Right.
I feel that is where the balance really comes in, but that's not always the main focus. I think even in relationships, it's always just money, money, money. What can you do for me? And this is speaking from my generation. And then I think it plays into the public perception, really just plays into the relationship as well. How is it perceived? If I give you a gift, are you going to post it? I need everybody to feel like I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But then behind closed doors, the relationship is so rocky and unbalanced because you're not holding up your end. It's like a seesaw.
Well, did you notice before you married?
I mean, you don't even have to go all the way to marriage. It could be relationships,
Or
anything.
platonic relationship, or
everything.
intimate relationship.
Friendships, everything. You know? So
then let's talk about this since we're talking about 50-50. What do you think is balanced or equal, or what do you want when you say 50-50? What's that mean to you? What's balance for you?
to me, it's just consideration and reciprocation. I think that, like I said, monetary is important now. Don't come over here with no money. But it's
Do you
not.
expect your person to pay all the bills?
Let me say, I expect you to heavily contribute, whatever that may look like for our relationship, our breakdown. We're going to have to discuss it, but to heavily contribute, yes, you got to come over here ready. But I also think that we are in a state of like economic hardship, and
Yes.
that's understanding, and I have complete understanding for that. So I think you have to be realistic.
Yeah, most households need 2 incomes.
Yes, but don't already come. And I feel like this is the thing now. A lot of people are playing on this economic hardship as, nah, you got to pay half of this, you got to do that. And like I said, it's because you're only focusing on money. But don't think that I'm going to pay half of the bills and then still expect me to be the maid, still expect me to be the emotional carrier, still expect for me to carry everything. That's not 50-50.
Okay, so if they carry their part and they do come heavily financially and cover the bills, what's your contribution?
Emotional support.
Now listen.
Say it again. Say it again, please. Please say it again.
You know, they got to be there emotionally, spiritually.
50-50 is not even a fair term, because if he makes $150,000, you make only 50. I can't expect for you to pay half of the rent. half of the mortgage.
A lot of people
I think,
are.
but that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I said. You have to put it
So
to your
that's
relationship.
not half. That's not half.
Yeah, that's what I know. That's what I'm saying. It's not a realistic expectation. You shouldn't expect that.
Yeah, like I said, it calls for some communication. But I think that also with the communication, we as women want men to be men, and um, we're always saying, "Oh, they got to pay the bills," and that's why I asked the question. Okay, so now that we've established he's willing to do that, he's going to pay the bill. What's your contribution?
Yeah. No, like really, my contribution would be
It's like
it would be emotional support, but just on top of that as well, what else needs to be done? I mean, are we talking household wise? Like just I think it depends on the relationship.
it does depend on what they need.
Yeah.
It's you compensate. You're their peace, their solace. You make your house a home.
Mhm.
And whatever that looks like for you all, you make that house a home. You bring your feminine energy. You just like you want him to bring his masculine energy to be the male in the relationship, you need to bring your feminine energy to make the difference as a female in the relationship.
And I'm just gonna tell you the truth. You can't bring feminine energy when you are asking me to play the masculine role. You can't expect for me to pay majority of the bills, come home, want to cook, clean for you, then also be there for you emotionally, hear these dry stories all day, and then want to like
and laugh at them.
yeah, and you want me to fake a laugh? Like, okay, let's be real. But then turn around and be like, baby this, baby that, sweetie. When I just paid the mortgage, boy, if you don't get out of my face. But that's just, you can't do that.
I agree with that now. I agree with that. It's little things for me. Yes, I do feel like, like you said, that it should be the provider. But I believe in making a house a home. But I think it's the little things. Like if I come home and both of us work and I stop by the grocery store, come help me get these groceries out the car.
You should do that anyway.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's the little things. Like I say, the garbage, the gas, the grocery. Little things mean a lot to me. There's the consideration. Just, but that's in the communication and in your love languages and in just some vital conversations that I don't think people have going into relationships. Most relationships happen upon people.
But I don't think things like that require a conversation. Like you said, if you love somebody, if I see you and you come pull up and I be like, oh, you got grocery, I'm just gonna help you. I'm not. That doesn't.
But everyone, some people, it's not a malicious things, but they just it's like, oh, I didn't even think about it. Oh, I'm sorry, why you didn't say anything, or And then now sometimes you have to teach people how to treat you.
And it's a deeper thing, particularly if you were raised by a female for a man, or if you were raised by the auntie or somewhere. You haven't been really taught by a man.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's a problem. It really goes deep.
It really does go deep.
It is. And I'm going to give you a real example because y'all know my pet peeve is the kitchen. But
oh, you mean
yeah. But a lot of men that were raised by females, then their mothers taught them to halfway cook or what their version of cooking is, this, that, and the other. And so when you date, people always be like, well, I'm going to cook you a dinner. When you come home from work today, you're going to have a dinner or you're going to have this. That don't do it for me. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say it requires some conversation. I can't stand
just
really
FYI
a man in my kitchen.
Whoever listening.
Now, if you're a master chef, then that's different. But you're in there asking around and really know what you're doing. Stay out my kitchen. I got that covered.
Yeah. I agree.
Especially if you've had my food and you yourself acknowledge that, okay, I'm the better cook. That's why I said let's lean on each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Go pressure wash. Go do something else. I got this. But I cannot stand a man that just love to be in your kitchen. That don't do it for me. So that's why I say it's conversation. And they thinking that, okay, she's going to respect this. She come home. Yeah. And it's like, as soon as you walk in the door, go and get your shower. I ain't ready to take no damn shower. Get out my kitchen. Get out. It depends on your love. Like, y'all know that do it from door. That's a trigger.
Well, I'm not too crazy about that in the kitchen business either.
Yeah. Well, you don't like nobody in the kitchen.
Yeah, I do. But there's some more things. I'm at my age, I still meet different people, and I hate it when they said, "Can you make them homemade biscuits? Can you make a good peach cobbler? Can you cut the grass?" Yeah. I said, with a push lawnmower. No, go on.
Why they gotta go all the way back to the push?
Why you want homemade peach cobbler? Why you want homemade biscuits? You open up a can and put some in the oven.
If you going from scratch, they gotta go from
if
scratch.
I'm going from scratch, you come on, bring your scratch business too. Cut the grass with a push lawnmower. See how you come out.
You know, and that's the thing too. A lot of my generation is always like, "Can you do it like your grandma? Can you do this? Can you do it?" But you don't know how to build a house. You don't know how to change a tire. You don't know how to.
Come on.
So why do I have to be Susie Homemaker? Come on now, we out here working now. Nobody. I mean, we can fund all these things. Get your money up. Let's just enjoy life.
It's not just about the money, and everybody likes a good home cooked meal.
I mean, every once in a
yeah.
while, but you cannot expect for you to come home to that every day, especially if I'm working. Now, if I wasn't working, you're going to put me up. I don't mind getting in the kitchen. But if I got to go out and
I'd
work,
rather work.
I would too. No, that's
I'd
like,
rather
if you're
work.
going to put me up, then expect a home cooked meal. But you can't expect a home cooked meal if I've been out working all day too. Come on, man. Let's go to Slim's or something.
See, and that way, even if I met someone 50-50 and they were well off and it was like, I want you to just take care of the house, they would have the wrong woman in me.
You wouldn't be equally
I don't
yoked.
want to do that either.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I
not-
say equally yoked is defined differently. Like that may be somebody's dream that, you know.
Right.
But for me, and I love to cook, but for me, that wouldn't be equally yoked. I would go crazy at home all day, every day.
I love cooking. I enjoy cooking when I get ready.
Yeah,
You know how we keep saying it's all about money, it's all about money. I think when we think of traditional values, it's all about cooking. Women, it's just like, we love to cook. Can you cook? But what are some other traditional things that you feel are expected of women when it comes to the 50-50 line?
Households, laundry sometimes.
The whole 9 yards.
Yeah, laundry
Because
sometimes.
for me, it goes deeper than just physical. I feel like the emotional aspect too. Women are just always expected to be straight nurturers. Like,
Yes,
you
we
gotta
are
hear
nurturers.
us. You gotta like come with ready for emotions. But some days you just don't be on that.
Well, every day they have their days, of course.
Yeah.
Everyone has their days.
But I think it's expected.
But we're emotional beings. We're
Are we? Are all women emotional beings?
we're nurturing by nature. We are. But you got to know your people. That's why I say you got to be able to come and you got to pay attention. To me,
You need
you
to pay
can't
attention.
go into this with saying,
Blinders on.
and this is how it's supposed to be. No, let's create our own narrative. Let's write our own story. Let's say what it is that
That's
you
what
like.
it
Let's
needs
say
to
what
be.
I like. And let's say how we get there. What you can put up with, what I can't put up with, what your
And respect
expectations
each other.
are, and what my expectations are. And then let's go from there. Because
And-
I can think that I'm raising hell and it don't even phase
Exactly.
you.
Exactly. And it's what you said, expectations. Don't go into it with expectations. Go into it with communication.
Right.
And what doesn't work, doesn't work. What does work, work. But what works for one person may not work for your relationship. And that's when you get let down.
So
Yeah.
will you have a problem bringing your check home and handing it to your husband?
Yes. He ain't work for that. I work for
But
that.
wait, but you don't have a problem with him bringing his home and giving it to you?
I'll make sure it goes to good use.
But you didn't work for that.
He gave it to me. I wouldn't ask for it, but if he gave it to me, then thank you. And I'll make sure that it goes to the
I
use
do
of both
feel
of us.
that everybody should bring
used to
theirs
do
to
that,
the
Granny?
storehouse.
What?
Give you a check to give in.
What?
You used, you used to do that?
Girl, please. Please. I can't do that.
You used to have someone do that for you? Give
I've
you-
had it, yeah.
a man gave you his whole check?
Yeah.
Every time he got paid?
Yes.
You have to teach me these ways, girl.
Let me tell you something. When a man loves a woman,
Listen to him, man. What they do.
he can't keep his hands off of her. He wants her to be happy, and he do what it takes to keep her happy.
All right
Now, I had a girlfriend. She get paid. She take her check home and she says, "I just put it on the table. He'll put it in the bank." And I'm looking at her like, really? But it works because he loved her, she loved him, and she trusted him.
Mm-hmm.
And
That worked for them.
That worked for them.
And he did the right
And he
thing by
did
her
right-
and
and he
it.
did
So
the
it
right
makes a
thing,
difference. You have
you
to know
know.
your people.
Now, on my side,
Mhm.
when the person brought the whole check on, I thought it was a little strange, but I couldn't complain. But I did my share,
Mhm.
and everybody was happy
Yeah, that's what
because
What works
when you
for
show
you?
when you show where the money goes, what's being done with the money, everybody's happy. There's no problem. I mean, we're going to church, we're worshiping, and we're doing what we're supposed to do. We're saving, and he can see where the money's going. And this person was a person who loves to eat.
Mhm.
Well, now I got to love to cook. You bringing the check home,
Mhm.
and a good check,
And I think it's
electrician.
about transparency too.
You know,
Yeah.
and
I agree with that.
I'm not a person that want to get up in the morning and cook breakfast, but I did for that.
I mean, if that was y'all trade off, that's
Yeah.
not a bad
I
trade
thought
off.
it-
But it
I
worked.
think
But it
everybody
worked
has
for
to
you
know
all.
where we
Yeah.
stand and what's
Yeah.
going on. I
Yeah.
think when
Everybody
it happens
happy.
and you've given your all and you're blindsided, and
Everybody
you're thinking
happy.
certain things are being done and
Mhm.
taken care of when it's not being done and
Yeah.
taken care of.
You just
So I
need to
think
talk
it's about
about
transparency, and you can't get complacent in
Right,
relationships.
right. Talk
That's what I
about
think too. Is communication. Like even if I trusted a man enough to give him my whole check, I still want to know where it's going. You can handle it, but can I see the transactions? Can I make sure that this is getting paid? Send me a copy of that Apple Pay. Send me a receipt.
And you shouldn't have to
that-
send me. You should have equally access
Access
to
to
everything.
it.
You should be able to
Access to
log
it.
on and look and see, and he can log
That's
on and
true.
look and see. You should be
Don't
able
send
to.
it to me. I got access.
Yeah, you should
You're
have
right.
when you
equally
don't have
access to
access,
anything.
and when that
everything.
money comes up short, something is going on.
And let me just
And
tell
don't let
you,
it take 2 or 3 weeks. That first week,
no, when you're equally yoked,
child, please.
and when you know that a person is doing right by you and they got your best interests at heart, you may be like, let me log on here and see what's going on. But after a while, you forget to even check because you know things happening,
Yeah.
things happening.
Yeah.
Every now and then you go back and for some other reason. But when there are no secrets,
Yeah.
and you're equally yoked, and you
Everybody's
know, and
happy.
I trust you trust me, you doing right by me, I'm doing right by you. When I come home, the light switch come on.
Mm-hmm.
When you look in the refrigerator, all your favorites are there.
It's right
You
there.
don't have to
right
ask
there.
for
You don't
what
have to
you
ask
want.
for
We
it.
loving on each other. We taking
Mhm.
care of each other. The kids good. Everybody happy.
Yeah.
You can't ask for
Everybody
anything
around
more.
here fat. We
can-
good.
we
So
good.
I don't have to question
Mhm.
because I know what it takes to live, and I see all these things around me.
And you don't have to ask, can I
happening.
do this? Can I? No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Every time I
Yeah.
get ready to swipe my card at work, I'm
Yeah.
just tapping.
Yeah. That's
You
a
good.
happy
I'm good
with
life.
that.
You
You
good
know.
with that. And
And
that's not even 50-50.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
access
That's
to
100.
But that provider should have that same opportunity, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I believe in equal. The provider should have that same opportunity.
Well,
Yeah.
I agree on that and I think that you have to just do what works for you.
Right.
Don't let the perceptions of others' relationships, others' courtship, how they do it, their 50-50 agreement, their 100% agreement. If it doesn't work for your relationship, communicate.
Different things turn
Yeah.
different people on. So do what you like and what you
Mhm.
want and what means, what matters to you. What makes you happy, what makes you sleep at night. Some things that turn me on don't turn you on.
Very
So,
true. More important than the 50-50, aspect of relationship is make sure you are equally yoked with your partner. Turn to the Lord for all understanding.
Just pray. Just pray.
Just pray.
Pray
And he
on
will
him.
show you.
Pray.
He will direct your path.
He will
sure
direct
will.
your path,
Mhm.
honey. Just pray.
And also, don't forget to press that subscribe button. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate the support. And we are out.
Ta-ta.
Peace.